Hey everybody, it's Galmadex, and welcome back to my third run through the Throne of Eldraine Courtside Brawl event. So today we're playing the Ser Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale deck. She's 3, a red, a white, and a black for a 5/5 Vigilance, a Menace, and whenever equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. And equipments you control have Equip a Knight for 0 mana. So this deck is very much built around knights and equipment. This is by far the most aggressive deck out of all of them, as you can see by the gigantic stack of 2-drops and 3-drops, and not a whole ridiculous amount of late game. So this deck will probably be pretty fun. I think the one thing I would love to do in this video is equip a Colossus Hammer for 0. That is probably the funniest thing you could possibly do with Ser Gwyn. But other than that, just an aggressive deck that has a good late game thanks to its commander being able to just plop out there and then start drawing a bunch of cards and equipping things for free. Sounds like a pretty fun ride. So, let's equip the Knight's Charge deck and get into some more Brawl. So I'm going to be playing until I win 3 times, as I've been doing with all of these decks. That usually rounds it out to somewhere between, if I'm perfect and it goes super fast, like a half hour, and then if it takes a while to win a lot, then maybe, you know, an hour and a half. So, that should be about the same amount of time as it usually takes me to make like a draft video or something like that. So, let's see if this all works out. This hand I'm definitely going to keep. We've got all 3 of our colors, and we have 3 lands as well, which means that I'm able to cast most of the cards in the deck, as we've seen by the average curve. And this hand has a very aggressive curve, which could put our opponent out of business very quickly if everything goes well. So I think I'm going to hold on to this Order of Midnight a little bit. The fact that my opponent is playing Alayla means it's pretty likely they're going to have flyers at some point, so I don't think it's super valuable to have something in the air, whereas this way I can keep Alter Fate for the future. So I'm going to cast Smitten Swordsmaster first here. This costs 3, yeah, that costs 3 to activate, so we will not be attacking this turn. Send down our Smitten Swordmaster and pass the turn. Next turn I get to cast Midnight Reaper, so that whenever any of my creatures die, I get to draw a card and lose a life. That should be pretty nice. Mace of the Valiant is a very aggressive start for our opponent. Now whenever they play any creature, they get to put a charge counter on that, and then the equipped creature will get +1/+1 for each charge counter on it, and Vigilance. So that could be absolutely horrifying with the right cards out, like with an Alayla out. Whenever they're making a creature token, that mace is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So, drop the Midnight Reaper pre-combat, that way if they want to trade their soldier for my knight, I will draw a card. And it looks like they did not take that trade. And here comes Alayla. Omnixilus's Cruelty. That seems like probably the play. Yep, that makes me not really worried about their next turn, because I know they won't just drop down a bunch of fairies. So we're going to shoot Alayla and get in for some damage here. And now they'll probably block Midnight Reaper, and I'll be able to draw another card here. I don't want to keep it aggressive, so we'll lose our Midnight Reaper, but we'll get him back with our Order of Midnight. We will cast Alter Fate to bring back that Midnight Reaper. Winged Words from our opponent. Very nice. That means they might not have a follow-up play this turn. This music is absolutely fantastic. I love this whole arena so much. Alright, so we will go ahead and pay 2. Ooh, maybe we just play Sir Conrad first. Whenever another creature dies, or a creature is put into a graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, or a creature leaves my graveyard, this deals 1 to each opponent. And I can mill everybody for 2. Okay, so there's just a lot of different triggers that he'll do to do 1 damage to each opponent. So that sounds like something good to have on board here. And now, when I do pick up the Midnight Reaper with Order of Midnight, when I cast Alter Fate on Midnight Reaper, since it leaves the graveyard, Ser Conrad's going to damage my opponent. So that's pretty cute. Alright, Alayla is back. If I draw a removal spell, that would be hilarious. But we did not, so... what am I going to do here? That's a 2/3 flying lifelink Death Touch. I think we're gonna just do the plan. We're gonna bring back the Midnight Reaper and put it out on the field, then send in with Ser Conrad, and they might take the trade. I don't think they will. If they don't take the trade, they take 5 to the face, which means that Knight of the Ebon Legion will get a counter on it. Nice, and we get to play Colossus Hammer. That way next turn, when we cast Ser Gwyn, we'll be able to equip that Colossus Hammer to something for free, which is just ridiculous. We get to do the Colossus Hammer thing if we don't, like, lose this turn. Bag of Holding is coming out, dropping down a 1/1 fairy, which is a 2/1 as long as Alayla is on the battlefield. Alright, here we go. Probably dropping more artifacts out, make sure they have more blockers. Yep, Arcanist's Owl. As I've said before, that card is just beautiful. I really love the design all around. Major fan of colored artifacts, artifact creatures, hybrid colored cards, just everything about that owl. Alright, so they reveal a Prison Realm is what they drew off of the Arcanist's Owl, which is concerning. But I think I'm just gonna drop down Ser Gwyn anyway. Because now we just get to throw a Colossus Hammer onto a lifelinker. And it's like, what are you gonna do when I've got a 12/11 lifelinker coming in? And if they Prison Realm my 12/11 lifelinker, I can just make something else ridiculously massive. So, seems pretty good. And I've got a Shivan Dragon backup, so let's get in there. I'll also draw a card when I attack with the Smitten one. And I'm going to attack with Ser Conrad as well, because if they want to kill him, they have to lose their Owl or 2 fairies. Then we are at 37 life, about to draw another card and do some damage to them with Ser Conrad. Woo! We are kind of going off this game. Alright, we'll see what they've got. We know they have a Prison Realm. The question is, do they have another answer that's 4 or less mana that can get them out of the rest of the problems going on here? Oh, they do! Conclave Tribunal right there. For 4 mana, they get to cast Conclave Tribunal and Prison Realm, which means they get to exile our Colossus Hammer and Ser Gwyn. But looks like that is not the choice here. They're going to go ahead and equip Alayla, give her lifelink and a bunch of pluses, and get right back into the game at 22 life. Luckily, we just drew D-Spark, which is fantastic. This Midnight Reaper has been putting in a lot of work for us, helping us get towards that card. So, we're just going to say, you know, goodbye, Alayla, because they probably don't have the mana to cast it again. They can put that mace onto something else, but they can't give it lifelink, which is the important part. See, whenever an equipped creature, I draw a card and lose life. Okay, so we're going to drop Ancestral Blade so we can draw a card here. And we'll toss that onto... Let's see, they've got 1 power over there. Throw it onto the 2/1, that way they don't have any blocks that will kill one of our creatures. Send in with everybody. Draw a card, it's just a Plains. There's going to be 13 damage to them if they don't block. Ooh, alright, getting some big damage in. Now I can save up mana for Intervention. I kind of like that. I'm actually going to do that rather than play the Order of Midnight. That way, I can make them have to equip that mace twice if they want to do that. Because if they try to equip the mace to one of their fairies, I can shoot the fairy down, and they'll have to do it again. Alright, they're at 9 life, facing a pretty large board. They'll have to have some kind of wrath effect to clear out all my creatures, or a very impressive turn. Shimmer Dragon definitely has the potential of drawing them out of this situation. I say situation a lot. I gotta expand my vocabulary. Alright. They have drawn a card by tapping their equipments. See if it's the right card. Alright, equip onto a fairy the Ancestral Blade. Alright, I think we got it. They've got 1 mana untapped. They have 3 blockers. So they block our biggest creatures. 1, 2, 3. They take 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that's not quite lethal. I'm gonna save the intervention in our hand right now. Ooh, Shield Breaker's pretty good right now. Don't actually need to destroy any artifacts, like, right now. I think we send in with everybody. That's a 5/6, so we'll throw the blade onto Gwyn. Save our mana to pump the knight, and just send the attacks in first. So we can draw some cards here, see if that changes anything. Arcane Signet does not change anything. Alright, blocking with Shimmer Dragon. They're definitely going to have to think this block out. They're thinking through a bunch of different possibilities here. Gonna block like that and take 7. Well, that is pretty good for us, because that means they are just dead. So send in the intervention. There we go. Alright, that's 1 win down. 2 to go. That was pretty fun. Pretty aggressive curve there, and then, yeah, just the late game of getting a bunch of cards. Midnight Reaper helped a lot, but also off of Ser Gwyn letting us draw whenever we attacked was quite nice. And we got to do the Colossus Hammer thing. So it looks like we're against Alayla again with another fantastic hand. Definite keeper here. It has Colossus Hammer. How can you mulligan that? You get to do the Colossus Hammer thing. How often do you get to do that? Yeah, I kind of want to curve out here. Ooh, not Colossus Hammer. We're going to play Knight of the Ebon Legion turn 1 into Sky Knight Vanguard turn 2, and if we draw another untapped land, that means Tajik turn 3, and that'll be brutal if we could do that. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to have to wait on this Arcane Signet. But that is fine, because we don't actually need to ramp up until we're reaching Ser Gwyn's amount of mana. So next turn we get to play Tajik, and then the turn after that we play our 4th land, and then our Arcane Signet for 5 mana, and then the turn after that we'll have 6. So it all works out perfectly. Unless they kill a bunch of our creatures or play a very good blocker of some kind. Ancestral Blade is an okay blocker. Not fantastic, though. It does kind of stop Tajik. It'll trade with Tajik if I send him down, so maybe I just play Bell of the Brawl and just send in with the the Sky Knight Vanguard. Yeah, Belle of the Brawl is a pretty good draw here. Yeah, that's going to be very strong in the coming turns. I should have waited to play that until after combat, but they didn't block anyway, so that's cool with me. Yeah, if I played that after combat, they might have been like, ooh, they might have some kind of pump spell, so I shouldn't block the 1/1. But they decided not to block the 1/1 anyway, so that works for me. Alright. See what they got coming up here. They only have 2 of their colors of mana naturally, because they have just 2 planes and an arcane signet. They would have to sack the golden egg if they need all 3 colors this turn. Because arcane signet only taps for 1 of them at a time, even if it does tap for all of them. Now they just have all the mana in the world in all of the colors necessary. But we are going to come in for a major swing this turn. And I think we let Tajik die because it's literally like Tajik or Belle of the Brawl. Either of them is fantastic on this board. If either of them survives, we're fine. And there's no way they can kill both of them here. So bam, counter onto the Knight so they can't block and kill that. And there's the scoop. I mean, that was a ridiculous attack there. We were about to pump the whole squad and make the Knight of the Ebon Legion a 2/3, and then after damage to them, the Knight of the Ebon Legion was about to get another counter on it. That would have been insane. So we got a Goblin Ringleader from our daily win rewards. You get random gold and just little cards for your first 15 wins every single day. And that was one of ours. Alright, we're playing against Josh. I'm Josh. Alright. Playing against Corvald this time, and the mana's perfect, but this is kind of a slow hand for this deck. There's no creatures, which is a little bit worrisome, but we have some really good cards. Whenever a Knight you control attacks, drain each opponent for 1 life. Shining Armor with Flash, give a Knight +0/+2 in Vigilance, and we have Colossus Hammer, so I'm gonna keep it. It's all about Colossus Hammer. Alright! We did it! 3 wins! I told you, the hands with Colossus Hammer are unbeatable. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play another game, because that was not a game. Let me see how long I've been recording. Try to make this a decent amount of time. Oh, wow! This deck is just fast. It has only been 18 minutes. Alright. I'll play until we hit, like, the 45-minute-ish mark. Because that is how long I like to have these videos. Just a big chonker. Just basically the length of a draft is what I usually do. Because that's most of my videos, are just drafts. So it's what y'all are used to, so it's what I'll try to hit. Alright. I will keep this hand. We don't have any creatures, but we've got all our colors, we have a Signet to ramp up, we've got the Super Mace, and we've got Obnixilus's Cruelty to kill Alayla the first time they play it. Because Alayla, I think, out of all the decks I've seen so far, Alayla is... Well, Alayla and Shoelane seem to rely on their commanders the absolute most. All of these decks are a little bit relying on their commanders, but Ser Gwyn, I think, relies on the commander the least out of all of them, followed by Corvald, followed by probably Alayla, and then Shoelane probably the most. Because a lot of Shoelane is just random little ramp creatures that don't really do anything unless you're drawing a card every single time you play a creature. But, anyways, what I'm trying to say here is Alayla is a deck that does not do a whole lot without its commander, so killing off Alayla all the time is a good thing to do. Alright, so we're both just going to be ramping here for a little bit. Did not draw any cheap creatures. We don't get to play a creature till next turn. We can drop down a Ser Conrad. But next turn, well, this turn, they get to drop a Layla if they want. Ooh, they must not have had another basic. They got to drop that mana geode in order to play a Layla. So Obnixilus's Cruelty here might just be lethal. If they don't draw another land and they just drop down a Layla, and we Obnixilus's Cruelty it, that could just end the game right there. Because if they're stuck that much on mana, it's possible they just never will be able to cast her again. Smothering Tithe. Alright, that is a way they can reliably get mana, so that'll get them right out of the situation, because I am not gonna pay that this turn, because that allows me to cast Ser Gwyn into equipping the mace, and they have 0 mana untapped. So this is a phenomenally aggressive move here. Now, I would consider paying the mana to stop them from getting that treasure because they're so stuck on mana otherwise, but, I mean, I get to throw that mace onto Ser Conrad and draw a card here. So, I'm doing a lot of damage here. I'm going to let them have a couple treasure. I now have a really, really important board to deal with. Some big threats. And if they don't deal with anything on my board, I have Colossus Hammer. And I can put it on the board. That was a pretty spicy, spicy pickup there. Alright. Prison Realm, don't do that. If they don't Prison Realm Ser Gwyn, I think they're dead. They do Prison Realm Ser Gwyn. Alright, that sucks. I really wish that they would have Prison Realm Ser Conrad. That would have been the best way to win, is to just be like, alright, Colossus Hammer, let's do it. Alright. I'm gonna pay the 2 here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to play Ser Gwyn, so I'll pay the 2. And then I'll play Obnixilus's Cruelty. And it's probably just it. Just Obnixilus's Cruelty Alayla. And do you have Vigilance already? Yeah, he already has Vigilance, so there's no reason to give him extra toughness. So I can just play that later if I need to. Alright, here's the chump block. And I'm actually going to cast Colossus Hammer here. Because while Shining Armor does cost more, Colossus Hammer costs way more to equip. I would like to have Colossus Hammer on the field when I cast Ser Gwyn. That way the second I cast Ser Gwyn, I can throw a hammer onto somebody. So, whenever I draw a basic and I have my 8 mana and I spend it all on Ser Gwyn, it won't matter that I don't have 1 mana untapped. Because I do need 1 mana to cast it, even if I won't need any mana to equip it. Alright. They have a pretty loaded field here, a bunch of ways to draw cards, discard stuff, but looks like it's going to be a Layla again. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and pay the 2. Because we did not draw an untapped land, we drew a tapped land, so we'll have to play that. Toss that onto the bottom. I think if Ser Gwyn dies another time, I don't think we're going to get to a situation where I'm willing to spend 10, but it could happen. Alright, let's just send Conrad in. I don't think they'll block here. Yeah, that's what I thought. And pass the turn. Saving Response and Resurgence if they attack with their commander. So we'll see how crazy they can go off here. They certainly have the commander on board. They get to cast as many as they want. Ooh, other creatures controlled with flying have Indestructible. That's not great. It's definitely not great for us. We have got to draw something to deal with that, or Safari's just going to win the game. as it does in draft. God, I hate that card in draft. My first, like, 5 drafts of M20, that was my absolute nemesis. Alright, and they do not attack with a Layla, that way they can block with indestructibility. Alright, let's go ahead and mill everybody. Boop them to the face for 1, mill everybody. And no boops that time. What did we draw here? Foul Mire Knight. Draw a card and lose a life. Or it's a Death Toucher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can equip Sir Conrad with Colossus Hammer if I cast Ser Gwyn, but it doesn't matter because they have an indestructible Death Toucher. I'm gonna pay that because I'm not gonna play Ser Gwyn. Do I just play Icon and try to start drawing knights that way? Because I don't really want to draw another card like naturally right now, because then I'll have to pay more for them to not get a treasure. I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. I probably just start giving them treasure. Yeah, I'm going to play the Icon, try to draw some knights that way. No attacks. Alright, yeah. They've got plenty mana. I think it's time to just let them start getting treasures. God, Smothering Tide is a annoying card. Let's see what they do here. Draw a card, then discard a card off of that bag of holding. I guess they only have 7 mana on board, and they do want to spend extra mana on the bag of holding and stuff like that. I guess they had 8 mana on board because they have 2 permanent mana rocks. Animating Fairy. Alright, 2/2 flyer. Cool. Sending in the Sephara. Unfortunately, I do not have anything with flying, and I can only do 5 damage to that. Yep. We're gonna have to take 8 and let them gain 8. Let's see if we got any knights on top here. Sky Knight Legionnaire. Hey, we got a flyer. And what is this? Toughness equal to the number of knights you control. Whenever it attacks, another knight gains indestructible till end of turn. That doesn't help me if their stuff is indestructible as well. They now have 3 indestructible blockers. Oh god. I think this one's about to be a loss. I just don't have a way. I don't think there's anything in this deck that can kill Sephara. Let me actually check that on the deck list. Okay, we got Venerable Knight, Knight of the Legion, Marauder's Axe, Ancestral Blade, Order of Midnight, Smitten Swordmaster, Crystal Slipper, Mask of Immolation, Corpse Knight, D-Spark, Steel Claw Lance, Inspiring Veteran, Sky Knight Vanguard, Bell of the Brawl, Midnight Reaper, Knight's Charge, Mortify. We have 1 Mortify in the entire deck. We have literally 1 card that can stop Sephara. Alright, well, and we got 39 cards left in the deck. Well, we are looking for 1 card and 1 card only. Let's draw a Mortify. We need to draw it fast. I suppose, like, they could also just attack with Sephara into my Sky Knight Legionnaire? I guess that could actually happen. That just was not a possibility in my mind, because... Okay. Let's see if this works out. probably have something in hand here. Just as a backup. If not, this is fantastic. It's actually just the greatest. Because this is the only other possible way I have of killing Sephara. This is the only non-mortify thing I could do to kill Sephara. Oh my god, they don't have an answer in hand. Did they draw into one? The suspense is killing me. Oh, they're trying to see if they have anything else that draws cards, and they don't. Alright, we got rid of Sephara, but she did give them a huge life swing in their favor. So, we still got an uphill battle here. But now we can have a super ridiculously large Ser Conrad actually get in there. Oh, Angelic Exaltation is very bad. Oh no. Oh no, we need another flyer. Ooh, Despark. Despark is so helpful here. We can Despark whatever they choose to attack us with. I don't have enough mana to play Ser Gwyn and Despark, and I have to save Despark up, because I don't have any flyers, so one of these can come in as a 2/2 that gets +1 for each creature they control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It could just attack for 8, and I'm at 13. I have to save up Despark mana. Let's actually go down to 12 here. Draw a card, lose a life. Okay. Not gonna do that. So I can't cast any of these black cards. Just send Ser Conrad in. Get to kill one of their 2/1s, I guess. Oh, I can attack with this guy and give Conrad indestructible, but if I do that, I just trade for a fairy with him. I should have put the axe onto this guy. Or the mace. That was dumb. I do have the mana to play Shining Armor out of nowhere, so that could actually... Yeah, no, Shining Armor is probably going to save him. Unless they just throw a bunch of creatures on him, in which case he's got Death Touch, so I get to kill everything that blocks him. Well, I get to kill 3 things that block him. Okay, so they do that, and I get to Shining Armor. Give him +0/+2. Bam! Alright, that actually worked better than doing it the other way. So if I did it the other way, then there's like less tricks. Because then I would just have a really big dude and an indestructible little guy, so that they would just trump both. That way got me to kill something with my Shining Armor. Alright, we got Despark mana at the ready. Witching Well, alright. I could probably have just Desparked Alayla since I killed enough of their creatures to not just die, but I still do not like taking damage, so I'm still just going to Despark whatever attacks. I'm still scared. And Alayla might be the one to attack anyway, because I might want to gain life off of her. Shambling Suit. That is going to be massive all game, no matter what. Because they're just going to keep getting treasures. One card in hand here. Oh god, does it deal with Ser Conrad? They were reading them. Frogify! Frogify Ser Conrad! Aw, that feels bad. Alright. Well, guess he's a 5/5 then. Cool, they are attacking with a Layla. Let's despark her. Don't have to take any exaltation damage. Yeah. Alright. Decline that. God, I think I need to play Shivan Dragon just to chump block in the air. This is really not good. So one of those attacks is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 power in the air? It's not lethal. It's not lethal. So I guess we're playing Ser Gwyn. So this is a frog and not a knight, which means it doesn't actually draw me a card when I attack with it. And I don't get to equip to it for free. So we'll just send in the biggest possible this dude and draw a card off of him and save our 1/1 frog for chumps. And I guess Ser Gwyn is indestructible till end of turn. So kill one of their dudes. Alright. Let's... Do I need to spread stuff out? No, I mean I could just have an 18-19 block their Shambling Suit, and then I also have a frog just in case as another chump blocker, so I don't need to move stuff around here. I can do that at a later time. The Layla is coming back out for a lot of mana. And a Scrabbling Claws giving them another fairy, meaning those fairies attack for a bajillion. But not 11, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10. It attacks for 10. Ooh, they're just going to send in a really big Shambling Suit instead. Ooh, that actually does attack for enough to kill my commander. I guess Sir Conrad it is. Dude doesn't have trample. So we'll block with our frog. And we'll just have an actual Death Toucher on the ground next turn, if they're worried about that kind of stuff. Mortify. Ooh. Alright. That can destroy Angelic Exaltation. I'm going to decline that. And let's throw Vigilance onto onto Alayla. So now they both have a Vigilance. They both have Vigilance. I get to attack with both. This one's massive, and this one is going to be indestructible. So, send in the attack, save Mortify for the Exaltation. Bam. We are taking some damage here, though, so they might just, like, naturally kill us with flyers? Actually, they do have lethal in the air, which is a big problem. Not paying anything. Oh my god, those are not good draws right now. Uh-oh. We'll have to do the math after we see how many creatures they lose here. What do they have under that bag? Oh, they've got some scary stuff under that bag to pop out later. Conclave Tribunal Workshop Elders? Oh boy. I'm guessing they're just going to trump with 2 fairies. But are we going to trade commanders? Nope. Alright. I thought maybe they would try to trade commanders. That way, Why that? What is this? Block with 2. Oh, because Menace. I'm so dumb. Yeah, my commander has Menace. Forgot about that. I was thinking maybe they would trade commanders because they've got a bunch of treasure tokens, so maybe they could get it to a situation where they could cast a Layla again, but I could not cast my commander again. Alright. I mean, we're safe on the ground now. Right? We play a Foulmire Knight, and we're super safe on the ground. We save up Mortify mana. In the air, we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're taking 6 in the air if we kill Exaltation. If we don't kill Exaltation, we kill whatever creature attacks. It's probably better to kill whatever creature attacks. Because, yeah, if we kill Exaltation, then we just take 6 in the air and then 6 again next turn and just die. If I kill whatever creature attacks, if it's a Layla, they'll have to recast her, and otherwise I just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the air next turn. Like, I stop all the damage in the air this turn by killing a Layla. If they attack with a Layla. Oh my god, I don't know what's actually right here. Alright, go to combat. Just send in a Layla, alright. Kill a Layla. I probably missed some Icon of Ancestry rolls at some point. I completely forgot that that card was on my board for a bit. But I will start using it again now. Kaya's Wrath. None of my stuff is naturally indestructible, is it? Nope. Alright, well, Icon. None of those. None of those are creatures. Yeah, I'll put Ser Gwyn in the command zone. Well, time to start over again. Don't have anything that gives haste. If I did, I could get in for some real damage. Just with this Knight of the Legion. Not gonna pay, because I've got a lot of cards I want to play this turn. If I play this, I've got 3 mana left. So just Shivan Dragon, Bell of the Ball, and start equipping things next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could recast my commander if I drop a mountain. Yeah, that's actually probably the best. And just make her ridiculous. But again, nothing that gives haste. If I had the slippers that give haste, this would just be like nearly lethal, but not quite. Yeah, that would be 23 out of their 25 life. Alright, that is a big Ser Gwyn. But, alas, she does not have haste. And the turn. There's a Layla. Lawmage's Binding? Well, I can still move everything over for free at the very least. Whenever a knight you control attacks, each opponent Loses life and you gain life. Oh, and I have enough mana to return all knights from my grave to the battlefield? What, I've got 1, 2, 3... And one of them has haste! One of them has haste! Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I need 11 mana to do both of those in one turn, and I don't have 11 mana. Oh. Can't bring out the haste knight. Oh, that would have been so beautiful, though. So I suppose instead I should probably play Shivan Dragon so I have a flying blocker. Yeah, let's make a flying blocker. And then we'll play Bell and Knight of the Legion. And next turn I can cast and activate Knight's Charge, because now I'll have 11 mana. So I would rather do that out of nowhere, like where they wouldn't expect it, just in case they have something to like respond to it in their hand or anything like that. So next turn, I can Knight's Charge, bring back my 2/2 Flying Haste, and just go insane. Well, bring back my whole graveyard, let's be honest. Do I actually want to move these around? Yeah, because Ser Gwyn is useless, so we want to move everything to someone that can actually do something. Put it on the Menace one, I guess. Yeah, that's actually a massive threat. Just making the biggest one with Menace huge. Alright, so now even if they deal with Bell of the Brawl somehow, they're going to have to deal with my whole graveyard. So basically, they've got to kill me this turn. Or they have to draw a lot of cards that can deal with a lot of stuff, and that is exactly what Bag of Holding does. However, they have 3 lands in there, so this is just a Conclave Tribunal. So it's going to deal with one of our things. They do have a Workshop Elders as well. I don't think they have the mana to play both of those. So probably just playing Tribunal this turn, get rid of Bell of the Brawl. But then everything just goes onto the Knight of the Ebon Legion, but at least that one doesn't have Menace, is what I think my opponent's thinking would be. Yep, that is the play. Get rid of the Bell. Next turn's going to be so sweet. Alright, I mean, there's only 3 knights in my grave, actually, technically, so it's not as sweet as it would be, but one of them's got haste. So we're gonna do it. And Sir Conrad is gonna go insane. Alright. And Mace of the Valiant's gonna go insane. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. That's a thick one. And we'll say... That's a thick one. And we're gonna say that's a vigilant one. Alright, they are both vigilant, they are both going to attack, and I am going to draw 2 cards. However, I am going to go down to 9 life. I don't like that part so much, but the rest of it is gas. Inspiring Veteran, cool. I'm getting dangerously close to actually dying to 4/4 animated artifacts from the Workshop Elders, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Spoiler alert, I never do. Alright, here's a chump. I assume they chump both, but if not, that's cool. So, I mean, my board is insane enough that this is another one of those spots where they gotta go crazy, or I think I just lethal them next turn. Especially with Ser Conrad helping out. Alright, and the turn. God, all of these decks are so fun. I am so pumped about this set. This is ridiculous. Alright, we did it! No response to me bringing back a gigantic stack of knights. Fantastic. Alright, let's see how long this video has been going at this point. 50 minutes and 5 seconds. That was quite a long game. Let's go ahead and get our random reward out of the way, and I will go ahead and end the video here. Alright, Pledge of Unity. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having at least a fraction of as much fun watching these videos as I am playing them. Brawl is awesome. It is incredible to be able to play Commander on Arena, finally, even if it is just standard Commander. And I think that in 1v1, the fact that it's 24 life rather than 40 life actually helps the format a lot, because games can still go long and do insane things, as you've seen in almost every one of these games. They've been pretty just insane. And this isn't even with people building their own decks and making their own kind of crazy interactions that they think of. This is just with 4 precons, so I'm tremendously excited for when this format finally hits. They've said that they're planning on doing it around the October update, but I don't believe that they've made any promises quite yet. I was really hoping that it would be live the second Eldraine was live, but that apparently is not the current plan. It's apparently for the October update. Hopefully that means early in October. But we will see as we get closer to the date. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all again for more Magic Arena very shortly. Goodbye.